Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, August 3rd. I apologize for the lighting here. I'm at one of my properties and the lighting, it is what it is, so I apologize, but we'll just have to deal with it here. I should note that this will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your decision-making process as a trader, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about the tool of technical charts and how they can be used to make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And then real quick before we get started, just keep in the back of your mind that if you do like what you hear and if you do want to learn more about how charts should be used, how they can be used, and just all the power that they actually bring to us as traders, then I am offering a free live class this Wednesday. You can get signed up if you're watching on YouTube. In the description box, there's a link. Or if you're watching at claytrader.com, there's several areas around the screen that you can click to get signed up for it. So like I said, just keep that in the back of your mind. And if you enjoy what you're hearing and seeing, then I want you to get signed up. First stock here, ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla. What a monster move, especially that opening 30 minutes. And I should note that I am doing 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of those candlesticks, as they're called, represents 30 minutes. So that opening 30 minutes of the day just went up very, very nicely. And then it spent basically the last part of the, or not really the part of the day, but the remainder of the day pulling back here. But within that pullback, it's created, a nice little pattern here. So let me just get this drawn up here so that you can see it a little bit better here. But we have the top part of the pattern here, which, very clear area of resistance several times. The price has been up around that area, and, the price has been rejected. But on the flip side, you also have a nice well-defined area right here to the downside. And actually, let me change that to green to represent more so the bullish part of the pattern. And then to finish off the pattern, I'll just draw in what would be known as the pull portion of it. So in other words, the best way to summarize Tesla here is Tesla 30-minute time frame bull flag pattern. Now, just because it's a bullish pattern does not mean that for sure guaranteed it's going to, go back upwards. But like I said, from am I making a random decision? Is my thought process random? Absolutely not. This is a very classic, technical pattern, and it's all occurring within this uptrend right here. So does that mean it's for sure going up? No. Is it rational to think that way? Absolutely. So keep an eye on the bull flag pattern, and whether you're trading stocks, you want to trade Tesla, the stock itself, or maybe some options on it. It's definitely a great pattern to watch moving over the next couple of days. Next one here, ticker symbol AMD. I think this is now the third or fourth top 10 video in a row that AMD has made, but I mean, the thing just keeps on putting in higher highs, and higher highs. So in other words, the uptrend continues. And at this point, though, I'm getting a little leery of it because of this right here that has formed. So there's the top part of the pattern, and then we have the other part of it. Whoops, try that again. Have the other part of it down here. And this is what would be known as a rising wedge pattern. Now, you would think a rising wedge is a bullish pattern, but it's actually a bearish one. So rising wedge, but right along the lines of Tesla. Just because this is a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed this thing is going to continue to pull back to the downside. Now, would it shock anybody? Would it surprise people? I don't think so. I think people would say, yeah, it's had a pretty big move up. It's been green almost the past 3 or 4 days in a row. A rising wedge formed. So yeah, not shocking at all to see the price pull back. Now, there's a big difference between a pullback and a crash. I'm not saying that because there's this rising wedge that AMD is about to come all the way down there to $90. I'm not saying that at all. But, would it be shocking at this point to see a bit deeper of a pullback? I don't think that's shocking at all. So that's going to be the main dynamic here to watch moving forward on AMD. Looking for a bit bigger pullback here because of that rising wedge pattern. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC, and talked about this on the video from Friday, but that trend line was broken. So going into today, it was just a question of, okay, did that trend line break to the downside mean anything? Was it a temporary, just little kind of fake break? And, got the confirmation today that, yeah, the breakout, did actually have more bearishness behind it. A little bit of a tricky day, though, because it acted like it was going to be strong during the opening 30 minutes. Opening 30 minutes, price gapped up, made a move up, and this will mean more to those of you that have watched the past videos. But if you have, I've talked about that pink line, the 200 period moving average, over and over again, probably to the point of being annoying. However, it is what it is, and we have yet another example from this morning of the price temporarily getting above that pink line, but just not being able to maintain itself, and then back down the prices went. So point here being that moving forward, that pink line there, 200 period moving average, certainly going to be that main level of resistance. And like I said, nothing has changed. That's been the case, but it certainly remains the case. As far as next potential areas of support are concerned, I'm not going to call it a be-all, end-all level, but certainly an area where, yeah, I'm struggling here. Let's try that again. There we go. Certainly a level that a whole lot of people are going to be watching, and rightfully so. And that's going to be that level right there at $34.50. That's where the price found some support back a few days ago. Also found some support right there and right there. So quite a bit of a track record at 34.50. After today's price movement to the downside, that area certainly seems to be within striking distance. So we'll see if it gets tested. And if it does get tested, then the next big question becomes, all right, well, can it hold? If it does not hold, then the next key level of support going to be down there right around $32.65. So again, main area of resistance, that 200 period moving average. Key areas of support, 34.50 and then 32.65. Next one here, ticker symbol EVK. Very solid day. Big, huge volume, well above average. And now have a nice little pattern here that's formed. So the top part of this pattern is just going to be that resistance trend line there, which you can see, after the price got finally rejected there. Tried a couple more times to make movements upwards and got rejected right there. So that's going to be that main resistance trend line. As far as supports are concerned, the level here that stands out to me that I think a lot of other people will be watching, going to be right down there around the $4.50 mark. So to just make this a little bit easier to see, I'll keep it all one color here. So we have the resistance line there. We have that support right there. And then if I draw the pull portion down here, and then to make it a little bit more visual for you golfers out there, let's put the golf hole down there. So in this one, EVK on the 30-minute time frame has the bull pennant pattern, and not just the question of which way does the price ultimately want to break. Do the bulls want to show up and get the break to the upside, or the bear is going to force this thing to the downside? We'll see how it plays out on Tuesday. Next one here, ticker symbol XCUR. And what I like about this one is that it was very strong today in the sense of the big gap up. It was very strong in the sense of good solid volume. And it's also completely eliminated any sort of worry of, uh-oh, am I buying the top? Am I suffering from FOMO, fear of missing out? Because the price has had a relatively big pullback. But you also have to respect the fact that, all right, well, maybe this is not a pullback. Maybe this is the start of just a much bigger move all the way to the downside. Maybe this was just kind of one of those one-day wonders where the price, gets a great explosion and then just bleeds right back to where it was. That's always a possibility too. So you got to keep that in mind, but that's, of course, why risk management matters so much. But the level here that stands out to me quite a bit is going to be that $1.70 mark as a key area of support. And then if the price does, try to consolidate out and then make another move back upwards, where's that level where, of course, not a guarantee of anything, but at least would start to make more sense to say, hey, it's looking like the bulls are starting to regain some momentum. In my mind, that key breakout point going to be right there at $1.85. So $1.70 key support, $1.85 key resistance. Let's see how it continues to move over the next couple of days. Next one here, ticker symbol INFI. Beautiful, beautiful day. Great volume, great price movement as the price made the nice explosion upwards and now have some very well-defined breakout areas. So to me, the main breakout point moving forward is going to be right up there around $3.10. And that's not like some sort of great discovery. And I make that comment because a lot of people that use charts and understand charts are watching the same levels, wondering the same thing. Call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can certainly produce some very dynamic movements. And that's what we have here at $3.10. So by no means is it some sort of like, oh, wow, secret area. Nope, a lot of people are going to be watching it. So if the price can get the breakup through there, that could, again, very well create a nice upside momentum breakout. And then as far as levels of support are concerned, the level here that I'm very curious about is that former resistance trend line. But because the price is now up above it, foundational rule in charting states when levels of resistance are broken, they tend to act as support. So if there are any sort of pullbacks, right here around the $2.80 mark could be very interesting. But overall, nice pattern, nice volume. The week is young, so let's see if the price can eventually consolidate out and then get that break up through 310. Next one here, ticker symbol NSAV, down in the world of penny stocks. I think this is now the third top 10 list in a row that this one's made, but this thing continues to grind, and today was just even a huger move when you factor in the volume and, especially from a dollar volume perspective, now that the price per share is up over 10 cents, it's adding up that much quicker. But it's looking like reality may have set in for a while because finally this thing actually had a decent sized pullback. Up until today, really no pullback. Right there, no pullback before exploding. Right there, no pullback before exploding. But now this thing does finally have a pullback. So if you are a pullback player, then it's looking like you finally got your pullback. That could be a buying opportunity. Of course, that just assumes that you still believe that the overall trend is bullish and that this is a healthy pullback. Obviously, if you believe this is not a healthy pullback, well, then you'd have to reassess the situation. But this is without doubt a pullback. And all these other ones, like I said, and like I've mentioned, is, all right, yeah, it hasn't really pulled back. Hasn't really pulled back. So people that have been waiting for a pullback have missed out just because it hasn't. But at this point, it has pulled back. Now, the people that were previously buying breakouts, meaning you bought a breakout there, they chose right. But the people that were buying that breakout right there, they finally chose poorly as the prices, pulled back. Now, of course, it could recover, but like I said, the main premise here is that the pullback has finally shown up, so we'll see if the price can build upon it. And really, in my mind, as long as the price stays up above 10 cents, then in my mind, this is as healthy as a consolidation as it can get. So we'll see if this is indeed a healthy pullback, or if this is maybe something a little bit more sinister and there's more downside pressure to come. Next one here, ticker symbol NIO, and like Tesla, both in the same sector, but very nice patterns here, especially on this one. Just in the very near term, well-defined key breakout point right there. Let's call it right around $46.56, or excuse me, $46.50. But the thing that problem's not the right word, but just consideration. The one thing that you would want to consider is even if it does get that trend line break, then not that far away, you have this overarching area right up here around 47.25, which is where the price was rejected from here. Now, if you think that you want to try to anticipate a level, meaning, okay, well, what level do I think that if it's broken, then that main overall level will be broken? I could see you saying, all right, I think if it can break that trend line, then it's got a great chance of getting up there and breaking up through it. However, I totally would understand if you were saying, I don't know if I like buying right there, because there's a chance that this could be a fake breakout where it comes up here and gets smacked right back down. That's all personal preference, and that's all going to come down to what you feel comfortable with. But, whatever you feel comfortable with doesn't take away from the fact that those are definitely going to be the two main areas of resistance headed into Tuesday. As far as areas of support are concerned, if there is any sort of bigger pullback here, that former breakout point right there around the $45 mark seems to be an interesting level. But without doubt, heading into Tuesday here, really all about these couple areas of resistance. Is this current upwards bounce right here going to be strong enough to get it through these next couple areas of resistance? Let's see what happens. Next one here, ticker symbol BTBT, and got a beautiful breakout today. This will mean a little bit more to those that have watched the past videos, but been tracking that resistance area right there. But you can see during the opening 30 minutes right there, got the great breakout from it. And afterwards, did break out from it, made a nice move, and then just consolidated out, which again has now created a very nice pattern here as we head into Tuesday. So top of the pattern right there around, let's just call it the $11 mark. And then as far as the areas of support are concerned, I don't know why I deleted that line out. Could have just changed it to green. And again, goes back to that rule that I've already stated. When levels of resistance are broken and closed above, they tend to act as support. So any sort of pullbacks to right around that 940-ish area could be a very interesting area. But yeah, any way you look at it, and especially from a volume analysis standpoint, good stuff. On the breakout candlestick, you can see the big volume right there. And then as the price just consolidated sideways, notice how the volume dropped off quite a bit. So, just from strictly a volume analysis standpoint, good stuff in that regard too. But overall, a lot of eyeballs certainly going to be watching this one on Tuesday. Next one here, ticker symbol DLPN. And this is a tricky one because, obviously, yeah, it's a great looking chart. The price just skyrocketed up. All this was occurring on big volume. But if you're not in it yet, well, then you kind of have a very tricky situation, because you always got to be asking yourself, which I've talked about and made comments about already in this video, is, I don't know, is there FOMO going on? Am I going to chase the price because of the fear of missing out or what? And, that's a very valid, it's a very wise concern. So at this point, it's a question of, okay, well, where are some of these pullback points at, just in case this thing ultimately does pull back here? And that first key level would be right around $11.50. That was the breakout area where, late afternoon, the price was struggling. And then, of course, the last 30 minutes, the price did finally break above that level and, spurted it on upwards. So if you are more of a pullback player, then 1150 would be an interesting area. Maybe you think that's too aggressive of a pullback and you think that this thing might pull back a bit more, then right down around 1085 would be another very interesting level. Or if you're a breakout player, then things become very straightforward. It's just a matter of, okay, well, let's see if the price can break out through where those highs were during the final 30 minutes right there, which were up around $12.80. But really the main dynamic here is this thing has all of a sudden shown a bunch of life this afternoon, and the good news is this thing can move. So it's nothing worse than seeing a chart that gets a bunch of volume and then the price barely does anything. But here, price did a whole lot after getting a bunch of volume. Not just a question of seeing if this thing wants to pull back here a little bit more, or if this thing's just going to continue on with the momentum, which is where that 1280 mark could be very helpful. So that wraps up the top 10. But before I go, again, I just want to personally invite you to sign up for this class that I'm offering totally free, and it is live. So it'll be this Wednesday, August 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Always keep that in mind, Eastern. And like I said, if you enjoyed what you heard and you want to learn more about how charts can be used, how they should be used, how they should not be used, and why they work, why they're powerful, then I'll be talking about that and a whole lot more. And then also, as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format and you would like for me to continue to do this, please let me know by doing two things. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment. It could be thanks, it could be hi, it could be any comment, but hitting the like button, leaving a basic comment communicates to me that it's worth my time and effort to put these videos together. As long as I know it's worth my time and effort because you're enjoying them, then like I said, I'll keep doing them. But you got to communicate to me that you are enjoying. And then again, like I said, I want to personally invite you to get signed up for the class if you're interested in learning more. And I hope to see you there on Wednesday. Everybody take care. Hopefully you had a good one.